Hi guys, welcome to this VirtualBox system. It's the XS, the small version of ArcoLinux without all the software, but it does contain some things. So in Calamares you can add and click anything you like, and we've added our ArcoLinux dev, so for the development. So those apps are on there because I've chosen in Calamares. Topic of the video is there are users having issues with the password. So you have a user, you have a password, and you want to log in, and that's the reasons there's something going wrong. How would you approach that? How would you do that? In the meantime, let's just update the system, as there was a pop-up there, and voila, that's that. What you should do, what I would do, what would you possibly do? You go to the internet, you type ArchWiki users, right? That would be a good idea to have a look and learn about users. A good way to learn. Users and groups ArchWiki. All right. And then you start reading. Users, anyone who uses a computer, in this case, would ascribe to names and so on. Mary and Bill. In my case, it's Eric. Managing users done for the purpose of security, limiting access in certain specific way. The superuser, that's the root, has complete access to the operating system. And some of us, hope not too many, are always working on root, which is not the idea. It's intended for administrative use only. Unprivileged users can use the su and the sudo, and that's us, for controlled privilege escalation. So sudo pacman -s. Okay, we're in groups. We have users, groups, and others. That's about permission and ownership, so that's also an interesting read. And we are part of certain groups, audio group or something like that. So we can have access to devices. Well, let's have a look. What can we find for the rest? We have important files. We should have a look at files, sure. So etc shadow, password, g shadow, group. Super, shift, enter. You go to your computer, your file system, etc. Those are files that are important also in building ISOs, right? So it's, well, it's a puzzle. It's a Lego block, and you need to have a look, or you can have a look at things like the shadow. Now, I need to be, of course, superuser. So I'm going to open a terminal here, become superuser with su. I'm going to give him my password as root password, which is, of course, in my case, the same as user password, so I don't have any difficulty in remembering it. But now I'm root. Who am I? Who am I? I'm now root. Okay, cool. So I can do an ls, sure, and I can do also a nano, and then open up etc shadow. Let's have a look. So it says here root with a complex hidden password. I know what it is, but you just can't read it. It's scrambled, it's encrypted, it's just unreadable, and it's a little bit longer. It's still here. So root has a password, and that's hidden away, and Eric has a password that's hidden away. And as you see, more or less, no, you don't really see, it's the same password, and even though it's the same, it's not the same up here. So I've learned something. I thought it would be exactly the same thing up here, right? It's the same password. And then we've got all these groups, all these, depending how much you've installed, and like, what did I see somewhere here? The Flatpak thing. If you don't do anything with Flatpak, it's not going to be there. All right. So, okay, we've visited this file, and then we have the password file. Control X. We go out. Nano etc password D. Again, here we have all the names. So root and Eric. This is me down there. And I always have number 1000, so it's a user ID, and I guess a user group as well. Eric, home, Eric, where am I, and what I'm using. bin bash, and all the others. Okay, and then we have the contains a shadowed information for group accounts, so there's a shadow as well. G shadow. What am I typing? Shadow. So it's a more or less kind of backup file, I guess. I don't know. Really did not look into it. It's a shadowed information for group accounts, so it's a what I would call a backup file. And etc group, nano etc group is another file just to tell to the system, look, these are all the groups we have. And there is even part image. So packages can make new groups, and if the user is not part of the group, you can't do anything. It's like SMB, Samba, for example, or cups, I suppose, as well. Not installed, I think, cups, is it? Anyway, if a new group is created, you need to be part of it. So you can use a tool, a service, something like that. All right, so on we go. It's just a general overview, just checking our systems and have a look what's on there together. We can add a user. So what I often do, if people ask, Eric, often these systems don't have a tool to add a user, certainly not in tiling window managers. I believe Plasma has a really nice graphical user interface, but otherwise I tell to people, basically you go for an ArcoLinux installation. In ArcoLinux you install our phase 2, I guess. In phase 2 you add a user, and that's it. Copy paste this one, but not with Eric, of course, and that's it. And then you have a new user. You put a password in it, and you don't need to do this because you're on a working system that works already. So it's one line, and give the person you create a login for, give him also a password. That's it, 2 lines. Okay. So that's adding a user adds. A little bit too simple, but go read. It's interesting anyway. What else? Group users, ID user. Yeah, sometimes I use that. Let's have a look. So where was it? That's what I sometimes type, groups Eric, to see what groups am I part of, what things can I access really. Have I permission to access the scanner or auto login or stuff like that? And then the ID user, not really, never really used it, but you see all the numbers here. Okay. And then the cats, we've done that, I guess. Group, add group, adding a group, for instance, for Samba. You can add a group. And then setting passwords. We use that in our group, in our scripts. Group lists. So here are all the groups. If you want to know more about group, this we used to have. We used to do something for the Bluetooth connector we have on our systems. This is VirtualBox, so there's normally here an icon for Bluetooth, and we needed to be part of this group, and it was not the case, so hence no no permission, right? So now we are actually adding RFKill already to the system by default. It might not be necessary anymore, but can't hurt either. System groups, pre-groups. So voila, this is what you get from ArcoLinux. Then you say, okay, ArcoLinux, reset password or something. Reset password, because that's the question online on the forum. Boot a live CD, use password, root and all that, unmount a root part. Whoa. Reset lost root, that's something else. Reset lost root password. Basically, what they are talking about, which is also interesting to mention, any computer on ArcoLinux can be fixed, and having this set in the video is good. I mean, it's the tip. That's the arch-shroot. You arch-shroot in a system. 10. Use the power of arch-shroot when your computer crashes. It really means it's a black screen, you can't get anything, there's no TTY, you can't do anything anymore. And this is why you would, for example, do this. And these are the steps. And we've explained it all to you in different, different possibilities, or how to fix a kernel, booting, or is it the grub? Sometimes you're stuck in a system and say, what's going on, right? But we have a black screen. Arch-shroot, that's your answer. So a lot of things here to get you going. This is an important article. Of course, if you do a clean install, it's 50 minutes maybe, and boom, you have a new system. So you have always that. So using this knowledge might be an interesting way to learn, and then maybe discover, oh my God, I can always fix my computer. Yes, you can. So that's a good thing that we have that. So resetting forgot root password, that's all about the root password and all that, how to set use password, user password. Maybe this could be a good thing. No, I'm not sure. Password username, yeah, we're gonna do that anyway. And control find user, or just password. Voila, shadow, blah blah blah. Next up, password. So this is the line we saw on the article there. Password Archie. And that's what we'll do. We'll just change the password now. We've visited enough articles. So who am I again? I'm now root. So exit. Don't want to be root. Where am I now? Who am I now? I'm Eric again. So anything I do is with sudo again. Sudo password. For who? For Eric. Okay. And then I'm gonna make something new, a longer password like this. Oh yeah, sorry. So first the old password, then a new password, and again, and stop. Password updated successfully. Where is my password? I guess I better type. Typically Linux guys. Cat instead of nano, right? Cat etc password. I've changed something in here. I've changed the password for Eric at this point in time, and I guess it's G password, was it, or shadow. Permission denied. And if I can become sudo, I can see it again. Now it was different anyway, like the other one, so we can't really tell what's in here. But yes, it's changed. And when I log out, log in and all that, it should be different. So sudo pacman -syu. Let's have a look. He's not asking my password. Okay, so logging out and logging in. If I type my first password, the first one I've used, it says login failed. Okay, this is not the right one, it's the longer one that I need to type in. So the one that I've created. And SDM says, okay, cool, you can get in now. Let's see if he asks me the password. Short password. He says, nope, that's not it. And I'm gonna go for the long password now. And it says, okay, that's it. So that's basically all there is to change a password for a user, right? And maybe since we're talking about users, let's include adding a user as well. So there is no easy way in XFCE to add a user. They have not thought about it, and it's not important to them, and basically you can figure it out yourself. That's kind of the message. Well, actually it's already here. Phase 5, archway, phase 2. Scroll down. And this is maybe something you can do. Sometimes people have, yeah, I don't know, strange ideas, I would say, but maybe not strange for them. Control C. And they say to me, why not create 2 accounts, right? We have the computer system, the file system. Why not create a home, one for Eric and one for another account? Well, this has to go, basically. Been playing around with something in here, I guess. And let's make a account for a user and start logging in, not with this particular folder, but with the other folder, because of settings, because of ideas you have, right? Okay, so let's make a new user, Control Shift V, and that's the one that we're gonna create. Now, Eric is there already, so let's make the longer version, Eric Dubois as a user. And then it says user add cannot log, etc., because I'm not root. When you do that in ArcoLinux, in the ArcoLinux D website there, at this point in time, we're a root. So we're in full control. And now I'm just a user saying, add me a user. So sudo user add. That's that. And sudo give the guy a password. You can type tab and tap again, you see? 2 people. And give this guy also a long password, so it's not the same as the other one. Voila. So now I can log out. And let's choose in the meantime also another desktop. Eric is here. I need to use another password, so that's not the one. This is actually the one. Password. Okay, password. Login. And now I'm actually having a computer file system home. Linux has created a nice folder for me, which is a clean folder, which has no extra elements that I messed up, right? It's a new home directory with no history knowledge. And then you wonder maybe, where is it all coming from? Why is this all filled in with all kind of rubbish? Well, the rubbish is coming from etc skel, because every single time in Linux, when you make an account, the home directory is filled up with the etc skel. And that's why we have this alias called skel, etc skel. So all of this, all the content is in your system, in your Eric Dubois that we now created. It's gonna be in here, the bin, and how to stay rolling. It's all there, which is meant to be, because otherwise how would you have a wallpaper or a icon or the look, the feel of a system if you don't have the configurations for it? And thank God, right, that everything is here, because otherwise DWM, Qtile and all that would not work. The configuration files are in here. It should be in here. All right, I don't think I can elaborate any more about this topic. Probably can't say a lot more, but hey, it's already 20 minutes. So I do hope this helps and gives you some insight on your system as well. So if you're a builder, an ArcoLinux builder, and we hope at some point in time you all become builders. So ArcoLinux B ISO is where you build your ISOs. And in our ISOs that we have these shadow files, we have these groups, and that's how we start, with creating a live user on the DVD, on the USB. In the live environment, you're not Eric, you're a live user, and then later on Calamares creates an account for you, called whatever you like, or whatever you fill in. All right, have fun guys, cheers.